Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again today on the Noble Show. Today, our guest is this personality whose song has inspired a lot and is still making impact in the lives of a lot of people in this country. The show is proudly brought to you by Ryan Travels and Ryan Car Rentals. If you're looking for anything in regards to your ticketing on your visa, you call Ryan Travels on 0264-623-091. My beautiful outfit was given to me by ABS Couture. You can call her on 0244939293. Today, our guest on the show is Minister Noble NKETSIAH. Welcome, Noble, to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome, Noble, to the Noble Show.
That's right.
Yeah. It's been a long time. What's up? What's going on?
Yeah, I've been around, and there are a couple of things that I've been doing behind the scenes. Yes, I think I've been away for about close to 6 years.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. So if you and the viewers will remember, I started this project called the Children of the Street project some 16 years ago, where my intention or our intention was to pick as many kids as we can off the street and put them in a home and raise them and develop them just like all other children. So at a point in time, I realized that my career or the ministry was taking so much time off the project, and there were so many things lacking in the place. So I had to take time off to also take care of the home and make sure that it's in good shape before getting back. So all this while I have been there, and thankfully, by God's grace, we're doing so well now, and I have people to support or to help with the work over there, so I can be relieved of some of the duties and the things I have to do in the orphanage.
Okay, so what is new with Noble now?
Yes, so recently Noble is back doing what he does best, and so I recently released a new album called The Christ, and it's an EP, all right. So it's a 6-track album where to tell the whole world that Christ still lives and He's still there interceding for us.
During your days where you're making hits, what were some of the testimonies you were hearing from your songs, from people?
Yeah, I mean, I have had encounter with so many people, and people giving so many testimonies about how my songs have been a blessing to them over the years. I met a couple of people who finds me very unassuming. When they look at me, they think that such songs is not coming from me. But that's what God can actually do. You know, I'm coming from a place where there's nothing. And I remember those days when I was young, when you're asked what you want to become in the future. Everybody will say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a pilot. And I remember when I used to say, I want to be a doctor, they would tell me to shut up, because people like me don't become doctors. You know, but it's encouraging, and it's so inspiring to know that the God who is able to change a person's destiny, irrespective of where he or she is coming from, was able to take me from that where I was and put me in a place where people could draw inspirations from. And I want to say that, I mean, all the glory to him, but he's been faithful. And so it doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter which home you are coming from. It doesn't matter what people think or perceive of you. If God says he will change your destiny, he will. And so he did. And so over 20 years, this is how far God has brought me. Yeah.
Okay, I personally love most of your songs. I remember during those times we used to use this song, Mofrey. I used to teach at Sunday school, so I teach them choreography with that song. What inspires your writing?
Okay, so first of all, I write all my music based on the things that evolve around me. The things I testify to, things that I experience myself, an encounter I have had personally, and the things that I hear that touches my heart. So I actually want to do a song, write a song, compose a song that comes to inspire you and impact in the lives of the people and leaves a long-lasting impact in the lives of the people. So it has to be things that I have experienced, things that I testify to, something that I can attest to. Like this is. So for instance, a song like Mofrei, as you mentioned, was inspired by a moment on the street. Now I have been a mate before, like they say, a bus conductor. Those years when I used to live in Kumasi, I've sold Broadway before. And I have slept on the street for almost like 7 years.
Oh, you grew up in Kumasi?
Yes, I grew up in Kumasi. And in all those days, I reflect or recollect those moments on the street where you have to live by surviving on the street and things that happens in there. So after God has lifted me and put me at a place, I looked back to see all those young ones on that street and the things you go through and the fact that it takes only grace for you to come out of the street a better person, because over there it's the survival of the fittest, and there are so many things that they learn out there. It will surprise you to know that most of these little ones there vie to or aspire to be armed robbers, drug addicts, prostitutes, sorry to say, and you name it. And these kidnappers and robberies that's going on are all coming from the street. And I feel that it is not through any fault of theirs that they happen to be on the street. Some of them are there because their parents came with them and left them on the street and went away. Others also came with it and their families and they died on the street. And so such people needs the love that all other kids also do. So looking back, there was a moment on the street where I saw two kids, a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old were fighting, and the 13-year-old was picking a sharp stick on the road, stabbing the other one. And I felt that if they were supposed to be in the home, such situation will not happen. Okay, so whose responsibility is that? It is you and I. The fact that they are not our kids, the fact that they don't relate to us, doesn't mean we should leave them there. Because in the long run, it's going to come back to us. And when you find these things that's happening now in our society, this child trafficking, children, young people killing people for sacrifices, is all as a result of these growing up on the street with no guidance, with no proper upbringing, in a sense. And this is what actually touched me to write the song. And as part of a project that I started about...
That's the orphanage of the orphanage?
Yes, an orphanage project I started about 16 years ago to also help bring these kids, give them a home, and raise them up like all other kids so that they can become better future leaders or better people in the future.
Okay. And what is it about Noble that we don't know about?
What about Noble that you don't know? Well, Noble is, outwardly people find me to be a very calm person.
Yes, that's how you look.
Very quiet. Somebody who is very difficult to approach, or somebody who's an introvert person. But I'm a very loud person when I am conversant with you. I'm a very playful person when I'm very much into you, or when you know me better. And then more so, I'm very unassuming, you know. I'm a very lovely person and real. Okay, so people have a different perception about when they look at me from a distance. But when you come closer, you know that I'm entirely whole package on itself. And I remember the first time I met a friend of mine I knew from Holland, who over the years had seen me only on screens and on tapes, on CDs, and happened to have a moment. It was just a day, and then she was like, "Really? If somebody had told me that you are such a person, I would be really surprised. I would argued about it, but this is the kind of person that you are." So yeah, I'm an entirely different person from the outside than in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're married for how long now?
Okay, so I was married before for 8 years, and the marriage didn't do well, but I recently got married.
So for
Now.
so like fresh.
So yes, it's fresh. But I have a son who lives in Paris.
Okay, she's
France,
Ghanaian. The first one is
with
Ghanaian.
my ex-wife, and the family also there. She now has a new family with 2 other kids. But my son is there. But apart from that,
You have a child with the new
yes,
wife.
he will be 13 years.
So you're just producing boys.
Well, anyway.
I have a boy, so I know it's not easy.
Yeah, well, Chrisney is not too a difficult person.
Okay.
But maybe the boys coming today are much more troublesome than but I can see that. That's how we find it to be.
Yeah. A bit about your background before we go further.
Okay, so I grew up into a music family. My dad is a musician, and my mom, who is sorry to say diseased.
But are you both parents from Ashanti region? Are you Ashanti?
My mom is from Winneba, and my dad is half from Winneba and half from Koforidua.
Okay.
Yes. So, and my dad is a musician himself, and my mom was a singer. Okay, and they met through music anyways. But I'm the only child between my mom and my dad. My dad had 7 more kids, and my mom had 2 more ladies after me. And I'm the 5th born of my dad, and 2 girls after me. And I grew up I grew up in Kumasi, schooled in Kumasi. But most people think that I'm from Kumasi, but I'm actually from Winneba.
Because they have the dark skin.
Well,
Most.
am I dark? Well, I'm dark.
Okay, all right. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. We're still talking to Noble on the show.
Are you planning a trip? Or you're going for a holiday with a lot of destinations all over the world? Just decide on where you want to go, and see Ryan Travels will take you there. We offer UAE visa, air ticketing, tour packages, hotel reservations, corporate travels, and many more. You can contact Ryan Travels on 0264 623 091 or 0302 408067. You can email Ryan Travels at c.ryantravels@gmail.com. Ryan Travels. You pack, we plan.
Welcome back from the break. This is still the Noble Show, and we're talking to Minister Noble in NKETSIAH. Noble,
Yeah.
give me one of your, give me one song, your old songs, not the current one, that you love so much. Give me a line.
Okay, I mean, that's going to be very difficult for me to to do because I love most of the songs that I did. But let me try this that I know most people know, basically because it speaks a lot to me. It was a moment on the street when I saw a crippled man on the floor who just wanted to cross the street, and for over an hour he couldn't cross it, particularly because he needed time, and the cars won't stop for him to cross. And as I stood back to see how he was going to do that, I saw how ungrateful I have been to God. Because in those times I was expecting so many things, or let me put it this way,
The expectations
the
from
expectations were so much that I was not appreciating God for how good he was being to me in those times. And I looked at him as he tried to cross, and for staying there over an hour, I realized that moment that the most important gift God could ever give to us was the life that we have. Because if God was asking that man for anything, he probably wouldn't ask for the things that I was expecting. He probably would ask for only legs to walk. I looked into the faces of the Kayayo people that were moving, going and coming, and they had smiling faces. I saw people that were driving in and out, and yet they had pensive moods, and some had angry faces. So then it dawned on me in that moment that as I had life, it was the most important thing that I could have. And that moment, this song actually dropped into my spirit, which was actually not part of the album that I was recording at that moment. All right. And it goes this way. Fisa, baby, now I am a me. Uba, so many, me way manu, because me way, baby, now I am a me. Uba, so many, me way manu, because
You know, that's actually my favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know, so I sang your favorite.
Yeah, because like, where we are coming from and where we are now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you look at all the things that happens in our life, and you realize that there are so many things God is doing in our lives that we fail to realize.
Yeah.
Now, I know people that spend so much money in dollars on dialysis every now and then, and some of us, we don't even visit the hospital, but we don't see how good God is being to us. There are people I know that have so much wealth, but today they are not even living to use the things that they've worked for over the years. Some people have mansions, but they can't even sleep in their own homes. You know, so no matter how we find ourselves, regardless of what we are expecting God to do with us, there are even bigger things He's doing in our lives that we cannot see with our eyes.
Yeah.
So at every point in time, it's an opportunity for us to appreciate Him.
Yeah. There's this funny thing. When you started ministering, the women, how are you handling them? Because even my production manager is all over you.
Well, by grace, I was handling them well. You know, what we do comes with all these things. Most importantly, you know, women love giftings, you know, and it is very normal for them to appreciate you or to love you for what you have and what you do. And more so, music comes with this certain attraction that comes with it. But it's also up to you as the individual to also know how to take care of yourself, to set a certain principles for yourself, and to to be mindful of all this, and so that it doesn't eat into your mind. You know, I get that all the time, but of course, I'm just one person, and I can only be for one person. So
For your wife only?
yes. So these are things that happen.
Okay.
But then, of course, I love everybody that loves me back. Yes.
What is the most difficult thing about being a man?
Responsibility, I guess. However, I believe that when you ask God for grace to be able to take care of the things that you need to take care of, He is faithful enough to do that and give you the grace to do so. But apart from that, I think that as God created us, it is good. For He said that whatever He did was good. So to be a man is a good thing to be. But it also comes with responsibilities. And I'm sure the challenges of being responsible, taking care of soul, the things that you need to take care of is what makes it challenging. However, like I said before, God can give the grace to be able to do so. It's not an excuse to be irresponsible.
Yeah.
And I believe that every man has to be responsible and to take care of the things that they need to take care of as a man.
Okay. Let's talk about gospel music before we end the show.
Yeah.
Your time, from my point of view, during your time, the kind of music that was released during those times, they were spirit-filled to me. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Now there's still spirit-filled music around, like songs around, but I see there's a slight difference in some of the things, the way they operate and all. How do you see music during your time, and how do you see music now? Do you see any difference?
Yeah, there's a vast difference. Okay, so there is a difference, okay, but I believe that it has to do with time and changes, okay. Now, when I was growing up, we used to listen to people like Tego Sisters, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, Amy Newman, Esther Mwako, and I remember I used to wake up with them, because by the time, early in the morning, my dad or my mom will put a cassette in there and play the songs. And as you hear the song, you know it's dawn. You have to wake up and prepare to go to school. And we lived each day with this one. And they were songs that were powerful, that spoke a lot to us, and it blessed us a lot. So we learned a lot. And I personally learned to be submissive to the things that we do. What we do, unlike the secular world, is to be impactful to the lives of the people, to bless people. And so it has to have the God factor in it. And the moment the God factor leaves it, so I believe that it has to have the God factor in it, because God is the only person, is the only one who can direct and tell of what every individual requires. And so you need to avail yourself for Him to use you to give to His own people what He wants to give to them. If it becomes personal, it takes away that part of it, the spiritual aspect of it, and then the song or what you have becomes vague and does not impart a lot of lives. But when you avail yourself for God to use you to make the song and to do the song, then it leaves a long-lasting impression on the minds and the hearts of the people. So some people are doing so in this sense, but I believe that most people, or more of them, have to avail themselves for God to actually use them to be a blessing to this generation that we are in. It's more like becoming more of what they personally can offer, what they have, and what they can show off, and what they feel that the people need. It doesn't have to be what they think the people need. It has to be what God wants them to give to the people. And that's the only way that will make the gospel impactful, the way it was in our days and when we were growing up. So I think that they need to be more focused on God, much more on themselves and what they feel and the ideas that they think that they have. God is the best representative of what he needs to give to his people than what we can offer to the people. So I think that they can do it if only they avail themselves for it.
Okay.
And God does not care what you know or what you don't know. All he cares about is your availability and the humility.
Okay. Your music, your latest album.
Okay.
Where can we find it?
Okay, so you can find the Christ album on all the digital platforms that you can find, from AudioMac, Spotify, Boomplay. You can find it also on, Denver and all the digital iTunes, Apple Music, and all of them, and also on YouTube as well. So
Is a video out?
Yes, I have a couple of videos and more videos coming on. So that's why I want to treat you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Noble NKETSIAH Ministries. And my NKETSIAH is spelled NKETSIAH. Most people spell it TIA, but mine is spelled NKETSIAH. So Noble NKETSIAH Ministries on YouTube, Noble NKETSIAH on Facebook, Noble_NKETSIAH on Twitter, and Noble NKETSIAH_official on Instagram. Follow me up, subscribe, and
more amazing content.
yes, you'll have more. Wonderful time even as you visit all the pages. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you too for.
I hope I'll see you again.
Sure, very soon, anytime.
We have to do an album together. What do you think?
If only you're ready.
Okay.
All right, sure.
All right. It's been an awesome time here today with Minister Noble NKETSIAH on the Noble Show, and he shared a lot with us today. I didn't have enough of him though, but I hope to get him again on the show. Thank you so much for sticking and staying with us today on the show. My beautiful attires from ABS Couture and my hair by Lizzie Beauty Center. It's been an awesome time here, and I hope to see you next week on the Noble Show. See you same time. Bye-bye.